All right, did y'all get a notification?
Let's see.
I didn't yet.
Okay. Let me refresh my other screen.
Didn't get one.
I don't get it either. Who is this? Oh. So when it first come up, only thing you're going to see is we have something to talk about.
Let's give them something to talk about.
Something to
Y'all
talk
see it?
about.
A little mystery to figure out.
Let me talk about.
Let's give them something to talk about. And we'll love.
Y'all get it? Y'all have it now?
Talk about love.
Yes.
Y'all hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
People are talking about people.
All
Oh,
right.
we live, ain't it?
Yep, we are live. All right, y'all get them.
Why my light keep going in and out though? I don't know.
All right. Y'all hear me?
Everybody.
All right. Okay. So, all right. So now that we are live, okay. Booyah. All right, perfect. All right, so now we are actually live and ready to get started on another episode of We Have Something to Talk About. All right then. And we do have a special guest today, Miss Allison Denise,
Hello,
the petite
Allison.
powerhouse.
Hello, how y'all doing?
Wonderful.
And of course, we have my wonderful, wonderful, wonderful panel of people. And if you may, please go ahead and introduce yourself, starting with Miss T.
Hello, I'm Miss T.
Go ahead, Kenja.
Hi, I'm Kenya with the J.
And Chris.
Hello, I'm Chris D.
Aaron.
Hello, I'm Erin Nicole.
And Dameron, also known as King.
Yes, this is your educated Negro King Grow right here.
And of course, you have me, Forte.
That's you.
And we have a very, very, very wonderful show put together for you guys today. This whole show will be based around relationships, from single people to people dating to marriages, divorces, just anything dealing with relationships. And of course, we have the wonderful Allison Denise in with us today, the petite powerhouse. She's gonna drop a lot of knowledge on us today. And keep in mind, people, for those who are tuning in, this is an interactive show. So we are following the comments as they come in. So please, please, please go ahead and like and share. And talk with us, okay? It's open discussion, no judgment zone here. We'll judge you after the air. So, yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and dive in today, you guys. I do thank everybody for tuning in. So let's go ahead and open up with our hot minute. So this is a new segment I want to try out called Current Hot Minute. We just talk about what's current in the news, and the first thing on the news we're going to talk about is good old Joe Biden. Okay, let's go ahead and get him in and out the door.
In and out.
Just in and out. That's what we're going to do today. So did everybody catch the comment that he made? If not, I'm going to tell you what he said on the Breakfast
Yes,
Club.
I did, but go ahead.
Okay. So for those who are tuning in, Joe Biden, and if you can look at our screen, it is posted up on our video right now. He stated, well, I'll tell you what, if you have a problem figuring out whether you're for me or Trump, then you ain't black. Those were his exact words that he stated. Panel, what do y'all think?
First of all, I think that he was, he tries to play the dozen, but he can't do it. But anyway, I think that as it was stated, and I could be wrong, I think he was saying it to Charlemagne. I think
Okay.
he was directing it to him, but I could be wrong.
You could be wrong.
I think that his delivery was just way off. I think he said it before he thought about it, and it was just all wrong. It was just all wrong. It was just all wrong.
No, I think he was also, a lot of times people just try to fit in. I think he was trying to fit in and thought that if he say anything pertaining to anything that's black that kind of make him stand out, he thought that would make him get some brownie points when it actually backfired on him.
Okay. What you got? You got anything, Aaron? You want to add to this?
No, because I agree. I think he said it before he thought about it. What he said.
And that's true. And then at this, Allison, Damer, y'all have anything?
Go
Yeah.
ahead.
I actually agree with him. I want to completely 100%. I agree with him. And we get so caught up in, he said it the wrong way, to realize that Trump has a very strong chance of being here for another 4 years if we let something like this distract us from what's actually happening.
Mm-hmm.
Completely said stupid. But please, 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 remember, do you really just want Trump again?
And see, and that's the way I feel about it. I heard what he said. The statement is out there. But here's the thing. We may or may not, some may or may not want to vote for Biden. A lot don't want to vote for Trump. But at this point, we would do anything to get Trump out the office.
Yeah.
So it's almost like we're forced to go out and vote for Biden just to get Trump out. So Biden gonna be like, well, I'm gonna say what I'm gonna say anyway, because everybody want Trump out. So shoot, I'm just gonna say what I want to say, do what I want to do. I'm gonna get in the office anyway. But we don't know that because this coronavirus is here. So
maybe he's trying to act like Trump. Maybe he's just trying to say what he want to say because Trump said what he had to say. Trump say what he have to say, and
I think that's part of it too.
Maybe he just feel like, yeah, if he cocky, let me be cocky, and maybe that's how he feel.
We as black people don't like that.
right.
We don't like that.
Because you just can't say you ain't black. What's your black agenda? Like, what are you gonna do for us if we do vote for you? What are you gonna do besides help us get rid of Trump? So once you get in the office, what are you gonna do for us? Because I know I'm black. Vote for Trump or not, vote for Biden or not, I'm black regardless. So, which leads to our next thing. Because I said we'll get Biden in and out.
Wait, we didn't hear Allison's point on that.
Allison, what you got?
Mine is real quick. I just think that he got a taste of what happens when you get too comfortable being invited to the cookout. He got way too comfortable being invited to the cookout, and it backfired on him. So I hope he's learned his lesson.
He did. He won't bring that pumpkin pie to the cookout no more.
I hope not.
Get out of here.
I hope not.
It ain't gotta be like that about pumpkin pie.
Right, pumpkin pie isn't bad with whipped cream.
Next.
In and out.
Speaking of then you ain't black, we're gonna go into some sad news real quick. We had another person to die in the hands of the law. Kenya, you want to take over this for me?
At this point in time, I really can't. I'm trying to hold in my real feelings in regards to this, but right at this point in time, I don't need another march. I don't need another march. I need the Black Panthers.
Mm-hmm.
I posted a status about that.
That's what I need. I need me. Because this should not be happening. I was talking to someone today about this, and they stated that, well, what did he do? So I went and I found out what he did. What he was doing was not justified in this action as to what they were doing, because it's not just the one knee on the neck. There are two others on the back of him. There was another photo that came out. There are two others on his back. So this was cut off. His air in his chest and stomach was cut off. So all of this was just pure murder. And it should, we can't ask, why is this happening? Why is this still this time out for that? It's time out for asking why it is happening. It's time for, hey, we got to get something started. We got to get, and then marching is not going to do it. I'm sorry.
It's not. I mean, we can't keep having marches and rallies and standing up outside the police station and making T-shirts and stuff. That's not doing anything but publicizing the killings more. We need to get out and actually fight against it. We need to fight for the justice in a different way. What do we need to do? Like, what do y'all think we need to do at this point to kind of, stop the police brutality? Because it's getting out of hand. How many is this already? We got the one in February. It's too many. But this year alone, it's been a lot. It's been a whole lot more than we already can carry on our Black lives. We had a comment come in. Felicia May, she said, I believe 4 individuals were fired over that, but at this point, fired is not nearly enough. It's not. Fire is not nearly enough. That's not a punishment. You get fired from a job. What, Chris? We can't hear you.
I hear a lot of static. Is it mine?
I think it's yours.
A fan or an air conditioner?
Dang, might be my fan.
Let me see. Let me mute you real quick. Let me see.
Mute.
It was you. Oh, y'all are so wrong for that.
It was like
until I turn it off.
Okay.
It was, I think that the mayor acted very quickly on this one versus how they'll just lay them off on paid leave. No, you fired. Like
exactly. Absolutely.
He don't want that. He don't want that. We already had the Karen at the park with the dog in the same city the day before. So he don't want the same issue going on there. He don't want people rallying. He don't want people coming there. Get rid of them. But we want them prosecuted. That's what we want.
Yeah.
We want the entire system of training.
That part.
We want everyone that is in charge of training officers. We want that clean slate.
Yeah.
Because there has to be a start from somewhere that is teaching them this is what you have to do. No, so we need a clean slate from the top.
So
exactly. Absolutely.
It's a little rough. I'm trying to maintain my composure because this triggers me to a deep end. So I'm going to stay very shallow in my response to this because otherwise I'm going to go off the deep end. We don't want that right now. But the issue is accountability for this, plus the system of demonizing and weaponizing our skin as more aggressive, as more violent and more powerful. And by all means, fear the power that Black people have, but fearing just the skin and seeing us as a weapon and as a threat just because we're Black is a whole different issue and a concern. The fact that he's saying, I cannot breathe, when we know, cops know that's happened before in previous years. Same thing, man is screaming, I can't breathe. And the fact they still did it, and if you watch that video, I only watched 3 seconds before I turned it off. And you see the person, he's crying and screaming out like, I can't breathe, gasping for air. And they're just sitting completely unfazed by it. That's murder.
That's
Not just fireable, that's complete murder. And the fact that it's going to always be an internal investigation. Oh, you just lost your job. Well, they'll have a GoFundMe already, more than likely, saying, oh, we need to help them get their bills together. What did you do when he's handcuffed face down with his hands behind his back and you're still having 3 or 4 people on him? It's unreal. And it just, are we willing? And it's the deal. I posted Black Panthers. I said the same thing on my post. I said it's time for the Black Panthers to make themselves known again. Because the Black Panthers get a bad rep because the media said, oh, they're violent. No, they answered violence with protection and violence if you came at us that way. And it was none of this, oh, I'm just going to take it. And the problem right now is we as Black people have learned how to survive and not how to live. And because we learned how to survive, we've had to learn how to be quiet, keep our head down to just make it home. But a lot of us, including the young people, are not willing to pay the cost, which it is a big, heavy burden, a heavy cost to stand up for these things, doing protests, getting put in jail, putting yourself in the line of fire for a cause that is much larger is not something that people know and understand. I know for a fact that at least the students that I deal with in upper middle and middle class Black people that I work with in my school, they don't understand that. It doesn't register to them, oh yeah, Martin Luther King was peaceful, but he got put in jail a few times, like a lot. And K was getting put in jail because he had a mission to accomplish. And right now, we as Black people are not ready to submit to that mission and bind together and know that the cost we have to pay for future generations is going to cost us some freedoms in jail. It might cost us some lives, but these lives can be powerful and not in vain with your face down and your hands behind your back.
I agree. Enough said. I agree.
Right. So.
Oh, man, I'm sorry. I had to calm down.
Oh, you good. You good. Because, I mean, it's, like we said, it's getting overwhelming now. It is. Way too much. And we can't just keep talking and talking and talking and talking and talking. Felicia Mays King, she said, brother, your words are everything.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
I'll try to pull up. Chris, do you still have what you sent me earlier, his last words? For some reason, it didn't load up into the system for me to post it.
Where did I send it on?
You sent it to me through Instagram.
This is so sad. It kind of just bothered me earlier when I watched half of it. Like he said, 3 seconds, and that was it. It's just too much.
That's all I was able to do, a couple of seconds of it.
Do you want me to say what he said?
Yeah, say what he said. So these were his last words, y'all.
Please, I can't breathe. My stomach hurts. My neck hurts. Everything hurts. They're going to kill me. Those were his last words.
And that's ridiculous. So he was basically
pleading for his life.
Mm-hmm.
And they didn't give a damn.
So why should we give a damn about their life? You know, if anybody else can go out and kill somebody blatantly, they get what, the death penalty, life imprisonment. So what's different about them?
Exactly. So Allison, Aaron, y'all have anything before we move on?
Aaron,
I gotta unmute you. My bad. You should. There you go.
Okay. My thoughts is that when I sit and think about everything that's going on in today's world, especially with more and more Black people being killed, I feel like we are in a modern day civil rights movement. And I definitely agree with everything that Kenya and King said. Like, I don't feel we should stop the protests, keep on their necks with the protests, but we got to figure out what we can do moving forward to get this to stop. And is it that we're going to have to go back and look at what those before us, like Martin Luther King and all those people, what they did, and how can we make it modern day and still do it safely and effectively, that more Black lives or lives period won't get lost, but we can do it to make a change. So it's time for all the leaders to get together and sit down and figure something out. And I'm so thankful for social media. A lot of people don't like it, but it does help some. But we really gotta get it figured out.
Right.
The leaders need to be us, because the leaders that we have apparently aren't doing the job unless they get a check.
That's it.
So
So we need to be the solution.
some leaders got to come out of somewhere else that's not looking for a monetary gain.
Right.
We need some leaders that's, hey, no, you're not gonna, no, we're gonna stand here and you're not gonna kill him.
That's it.
Okay, he stole a bag of candy, but you're not gonna kill him.
That's it.
Anda bahaya.
Right. So let's give just a quick moment of silence and then we'll move on, okay? All right. Okay. Moving on, we are going to bring up forward Miss Allison Denise, the petite powerhouse. Yay! How you doing, Miss Allison?
I'm good. I'm good. How are y'all?
We are
Okay.
Wonderful.
Good.
Good.
And how your day been today?
It's been a day. I've had to fight not to say anything about the topic we just discussed, so I don't end up back in Facebook jail. It's been a day, but beyond that, it's been productive. I've got no complaints.
That's good. That's good. We do thank you for coming on today. So let's jump right into these interview questions. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
Okay. So, tell us about your organization, Be Still and Move.
Okay, so Be Still and Move is actually going through transition right now.
Okay.
It was originally a nonprofit that I created it started as a blog back in 2013. It turned into a full-fledged organization in 2015. And the purpose of the organization was to bring arts and awareness to toxic and abusive relationships. The purpose was to bring those two worlds together. So basically what I wanted to do, I noticed that there were a lot of brothers and sisters who might be in toxic and abusive situations. And rather than focus on the obvious piece of the toxic and abusive things, what I tend to do is focus on the root and finding solutions. And so I noticed that a trend was that a lot of people who were in those situations had really never seen anything outside of their community, outside of their neighborhood. I'm from North Carolina. I've been here 9 years in August, and I'm a corporate trainer by profession. And I noticed that I was training a lot of people who had only seen Oak Cliff, who had only seen Pleasant Grove, who had only seen Fort Worth, and made the decision to start asking questions. And I found out a lot of them had never been to a ballet. They had never, been to a poetry event. They had never been to a play. And so what I did was bring a lot of artists, live artists who were local here to Dallas, whether it be poetry, whether it be dance, whether it be live music. I created these events where people who were in those situations had an opportunity to experience another perspective of life, because I believe if you can start experiencing different, you'll start to realize what you do want in your life versus what you don't want. And a lot of times people have to be experienced or opened up to the experience so they can understand that they do have other outlets other than what they have. And so that was the original purpose. And that translated into me doing workshops once a month where we talked about a different relationship topic. With everything going on with the pandemic, that stuff is kind of being revamped. We'll see what happens, because of course we can't really meet together like we want to. So, you know, we're seeing what we're going to do about that going forward.
Okay. All right. And elaborate on your slogan. Boyfriends waste time, start dating husbands.
So I am really big on words and numbers and spiritual connection and all that good stuff. And I'm also really big on names and titles. My son, his name is Logan Alexander. I picked it because it meant eloquent, strong leader. So every time I call his name, that's what I'm calling him. And so I'm really big on that. And I've noticed that it's all about mindset. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that all women are wives, because the reality is that they're not prepared to be a wife yet. But speaking in terms of the men and women who are acknowledging that they do want a healthy partner, I noticed that there are a lot of us sisters who are looking for husbands, but we're dating men who have boyfriend mindsets.
That's it.
So that boyfriend is never going to be a husband until he decides that he wants to be a husband first. He's got to choose to be a husband before he can be yours. Ooh. So one of the things that we have to start doing as women is being very clear about what we want, not what we think we can have based off our experiences, not what we think we deserve based off of how people have treated us in the past. What do you want? If you want a husband, then just date men who have made it clear that they are looking for a wife. You can spend years and years and decades of your life with a man who only wants to be a boyfriend. At best, most of them just want to be lovers.
So somebody like Jennifer Husser. Next. So,
hey.
Why do they call you the petite powerhouse?
So I'm called the petite powerhouse because I am literally only 5 feet tall, and I seem to command a room. I've been told that I command a room when I'm in it. I command a conversation when I'm speaking, and I have way more power in my voice than people think I should have once they see me in person.
Okay.
I like that.
So we're gonna get a little bit deeper real quick.
Okay.
Personal. You can choose to answer this if you like.
Okay.
So after reading about your past situations, from abusive relationships, almost losing your life, and dating a narcissist, how have you been able to pull through mentally and physically and made you the powerhouse you are today?
Oh, it's pretty good. So it was not an easy process. And I think that's the main thing that I want people to understand. It's a process. We have a lot of buzzwords going around. Toxic is being overused. Narcissist is being overused. Healing is being overused. A lot of things are being overused. But when you get down to the nitty gritty, it's an individual decision. And so the biggest thing with me was in North Carolina, I did not, for those who have heard of the Andy Griffith Show, I don't know if anybody has not, but Andy Griffith was in a fake city called Mayberry, but it was actually a real city in North Carolina called Mount Airy.
Okay.
I did not grow up on that side of North Carolina, but I grew up in that type of city. So very naive. Even those in my city who were quote unquote racist, even they would call a truce if there was a death in the family, that type of environment. And so to go from that to getting married, and most of the people that I had grown up with, we had 2-parent homes. We grew up in single family homes. I grew up with the same kids, went to the same school. We went off to college in the same city. And, you know, I just had a very nice and cool and beautiful and sheltered and unrealistic life. And so when I ended up out of the marriage, I was married to a very sweet man who did not want to grow up. And when I finally got tired of dealing with it and asked for separation, he decided to try to kill me instead. So after 10 days in ICU and all of these different injuries that I had to heal from that took 3 months, that was the beginning of me being processed. So I was out of work for 3 months. I went back to work, and this was in 2008, 2009. So for those who remember, that was when the recession hit. So after 3 months of being off work, I went back to work just to be laid off again 3 months later. Spent a lot of time without my son because I was navigating through having an apartment and still trying to hold on to the house that I had in my marriage, and not being able to take care of daycare and rent and mortgage and all of these other things. And then 6 weeks after I found a job, 6 months after being laid off, ended up in a car accident that totaled my car. So I was going through a lot of different stages. Things had begun to calm down. I met this gentleman. All appearances were that my happily ever after was coming, and he turned out to be my first narcissist. I didn't know what that was. I'd never heard of it. I didn't even know. I just thought everything I was feeling here in Dallas was just me being homesick. And it wasn't until, I don't know, breakup 3 or 4 that I started doing research and figuring out what was happening. So from that point forward, you know, you go through this set of denial. Well, no, there's no way. I'm too strong-minded for that. There's no way someone got in my head and did ABCD. And what you're doing basically is just prolonging the reality that someone has just come along and tried to destroy you from the inside out. And so once you finally get to the point that you're willing to acknowledge it, you go through a lot of different phases. You go through still wanting to believe that things are different. You still want to go through, well, maybe I can pray better into him. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. And so as you slowly move through the reality that this person is actually who they are, and who it was that you fell in love with was just a facade, you have to accept that. You have to grieve that. You have to grieve that the person that you thought they were does not exist. And where we mess up is we keep trying to bring that person back instead of accepting the person you pretended to be is who I really want. So what I'm going to do is leave you alone so that I can find someone who is actually like that for real.
Right.
So that was one of the first things that I had to do. And it took a lot of inner work. It took a lot of acknowledging, you know, that I had codependent tendencies at the time. It took a lot of acknowledging that I had insecurities. It was almost like God used that relationship to bring all of the junk to the surface so I could get it out. That way I could move forward with my purpose. Because as soon as I got all that stuff out, everything started to take off. People wanted to see me on Facebook Live, and I ended up on the radio, and I ended up being asked to contribute to magazines and all of those other things. And I found that I actually have a passion and a gift for relationships, because I really believe in the power of love, not the love that we see on TV, not the love that we hear about on the radio, but actual genuine love. I know it has the power to heal. I know it has the power to transform, and I know it has the power to make you feel like you can literally do anything. And that's the love that we want, even though we're searching for it in wrong spots.
Ooh,
Okay, Allison.
okay. All right.
Shando.
Listen. So,
What do you know?
all right. So, what's the go to my next question. So, are there any new endeavors, or what do you have coming up next?
So I actually have a podcast that is starting next Tuesday. I will be dropping my first episode next Tuesday. Logo and name to be determined. I tend to wait till the last minute to do that stuff. But I have a podcast. There have been a lot of people who say, hey, I love you on Facebook Live, but is there a way that I can maybe hear you while I'm in my car? And I've had people who said, hey, I really enjoyed hearing you on the radio show with your crew, but I would love to just hear you talk about relationships and money just by yourself. And so I will be dropping the podcast next Tuesday. I think it's either going to be every day or every week. We'll see what happens. I'm just going to let, the universe and God tell me how that should flow. And I saw that you put that up. Thank you. I am 1/3 of the Bad Squad radio show. So you can check us out on Fridays from 7 to 8. We're doing Zoom right now as well. I have a book that I'm finishing up, and I'm just spending a lot of time working on perfecting my craft so that I can get out here and start speaking. I love doing workshops. I love speaking with people one-on-one. I do offer coaching for those who want to walk through the process of getting to know themselves, or even if them and their partner want to get to the process of learning each other again to determine if the relationship is worth saving or not. But I really want to get out here and start speaking. I want to start speaking in front of college students, middle school students. We have a lot of people who are losing virginity in 6th grade or sooner. We have a lot of kids who are in abusive relationships at 13. And so I want to start to get to them early, start to show brothers what they are worth, and it's not in their pants. Start to show sisters what they are worth early and let them understand that it's not what's between their legs, and more importantly, teaching our sisters that your life is whole, whether you're with a person or not, because we're the ones who were constantly made to feel we can have 5 degrees, 10 homes, be out of debt, have $6 million in the bank, but the very first thing people want to ask is, are you married? Because if you're not married, then it doesn't matter what else you've done with your life, you're a failure. And so I want women to understand you need to be who you are. And I tell all of my sisters, find your purpose. And I want to start that at 13 and 14. Find your purpose. If you can find your purpose, 2 great things happen. You end up so focused on that purpose that you literally don't have time to deal with men who are slowing you down. You just lose the desire to deal with men who don't know what they want to do, who are playing around with your emotions. You are so focused on your purpose and so in love with it that you send them on their way. You'll still hurt, but you won't be devastated. And the second thing that happens is when the right man does come along, he already sees you living life. He doesn't see you sitting on the couch waiting for him to bring life to you. So then he can size you up and say, okay, she's got all of this going on. Can I hang? And so that way, you know, if the brother steps to you, you got a 50-50 shot of him deciding that he can hang. Now, there will be some who, I'll say it like this. This has been a personal issue that I've faced. My light will bring a lot of brothers to me, but then that light gets too bright when they get close. And what will end up happening is they'll start to do or say certain things that let me know that they can't handle the light. And some of them will go so far as to try to dim the light by way of trying to tell me that I can't do as much or I shouldn't do as much or whatever. And I'm in my purpose and I'm no longer codependent and I no longer feel like I gotta have a man. So I got no problem sending his ass on his way. And people say I'm harsh for that. They call me the cutoff point, call me what you want. But what I do have is peace. I've got peace. I'm moving forward. And I know that the right man is going to be able to handle everything that I have going on with me, but he will also be confident enough to let me see what's going on with him, because I also believe in reciprocity. Don't just be here to help me with my dream. Let me help you with yours, because I'm a hell of a woman. I bring a whole lot to the table. And I increase every brother that I'm with who chooses to keep it. So that's what, you know, that's what I have going on.
You preach. Preach.
Pass the collection plate.
Yes, ma'am. Woo! Oh!
All right.
Yes, girl. Yes.
Oh my God.
Election for you.
All right then.
Will there be one?
Woo! This is so full. Yes.
You just sent my crew through. All right. So how can people reach you if they have questions or just want to have a conversation with you?
So you can email me at IamAllisonDenise@gmail.com. I do have my Calendly information if you want to set up a personal appointment. I don't do upfront consultations. I don't do the 15 minutes free. Set up an appointment because I know my value. I know what I'm worth. So you're going to pay it or we're going to move on. So I have a Calendly set up on Facebook under the bio. If you want to listen to some of the things that I've done, I'm on Facebook. You see, I have a lot of videos on Facebook Live. Between my 2 pages, I think I'm at like 800 different videos. I also have some videos on YouTube. My channel there is also I Am Allison Denise. You can also find me on Instagram under I Am Allison Denise too. So just find me under any of those platforms. I'd rather you not DM me. My inbox is just looking kind of crazy from a lot of brothers who think that they're the one who's going to get my attention in that method, and it's just not working. So I would rather you email me or just tell me publicly that you would like for us to speak.
All right. Let's give it up for Allison, y'all.
Thank y'all.
We do thank you. We thank you. We thank you. And this concludes our interview process. So the interview process, like we try to hire you for a job.
Right.
Right.
Come on, store manager.
Right. So we're gonna jump into these topics, y'all. These some juicy topics. And listen, we're not gonna spend 3 hours on each topic, okay? I know they can get juicy and get deep, and we can go way over there. Let's come back over here, okay? All right, here we go. And if for those right there tuning in with us, we do appreciate you for tuning in with us. We are seeing y'all come in and join us on our conversation. We get into our topics now. We have some great deep topics. And if you want to chime in, comment below. We will read them. Okay. All right. Our first topic we have. If you have a best friend of the opposite sex, do you still hang out as you did once either of you get in a serious relationship or go as far as getting married? What are y'all thoughts on that? If I need to read it again, let me know.
Say it one more time.
All right. If you have a best friend of the opposite sex, do you still hang out as you did once either of you get in a serious relationship or go as far as getting married?
Adjust that frame for people who are same gender loving, so that way they can be included in the conversation. So just, that's hard. It depends on the boundaries. There are certain boundaries that I have that are loose when I'm single. Certain things like how I touch, feel, things we talk about. I'm a touchy-feely person. My love languages are physical touch and quality time. Both of those have to come down from my best friend when I'm in a relationship. And so it depends on your boundaries. Yes, you will have to most likely change some of the things. That doesn't mean you negate the love and the friendship. It just means out of respect for what you're attempting to build, you have to set a boundary. And one of the things I love is that people think boundaries are bad. Boundaries give you so much peace when you know there's this guard that you're not going to cross. Because staying within this guard keeps you focused. It keeps you in a realm where people can't get you that you don't want to get to you. It keeps things in that you want to keep in. It keeps things that you don't want to be out. Like, so it does change. It absolutely has to change. Unless you want jealousy, confusion, and miscommunication to be deep and abound. What's that saying? Don't let your right hand know what your left hand is doing.
Ooh,
You end up putting yourself in that situation. And I know from personal experience. So
before we go to the next person, so Simonia Montgomery, she said yes. Akila said nothing should change. She also said understand what he's saying. Let me make sure that's all the comments that we have right now before I lose them. Okay, go ahead. Who else got something to chime in with this one?
I do. I asked that question because I have a male that's my best friend, and we've been best friends for over 20, 25 years. And when he'd been married before, but I'm always friends with his wives or whatever. But when he got married this last time, I was telling him, look, I understand I'm your best friend, but you married, and I don't want to be feeling like, I'm just coming over there, because he still give me a key to his apartment right now today. I still have a key to his apartment. Like if anything go wrong, he'll call. But this is the thing. His wife will call me too. She will call me too. And so I had to just tell him, look, y'all married. He's just my friend. Y'all need to work y'all stuff out. I said, because this is really taking a toll on me right now, because he's sick with the coronavirus. And so he's sick with the coronavirus, but the wife is calling me. He's sick. Can you go do this? And I'm like, you his wife. I'm just his best friend. So I was like, dude, I don't want to stop being his friend, because he's my best friend and he's been my best friend forever. He's been in my wedding. I've been in his wedding. My mom actually did their whole entire wedding with the food, the cake, and everything. I just want to step back and let her do what she's supposed to do as his wife. I'm just his friend.
Boundaries.
I was just going to say, I agree. That's where you are going to have to set those boundaries. You are going to have to sit them both down and say, listen. Let me look you in your listen at this point, at this moment. You know, look them in their eyes, let them know I am serious. This is affecting me. You guys need to get it together. Now, you having a key being his best friend or whatever, I don't necessarily think that's an issue with that, because there are instances where, you know, there might be an emergency situation, but as long as you all have that agreement, as far as him, his wife, y'all got that understanding, there's no issue. But when their life is taking a toll on you, you're gonna have to sit down, have those conversations, and if nothing changes, then you change.
Right. Chris, King, well, King already. Chris, Kenya.
I would hate to be the devil's advocate, because
Do it.
I'm just curious, Miss T, is what's taking a toll of you? Is it the fact that she's continuously calling you, asking you to do stuff that you feel like she should be doing? Is that the issue?
What's taking a toll on me is the fact that you and him are married. And once you get married, your best friend don't have to know everything that's going on with you guys. You see
So
what I'm
both of them are calling you, telling you the different things that's going on. So you feel
He
like
called me fussing. You need to talk to your best friend. He called me fussing.
Okay.
She did, and I'm just it's like I'm his their big sister, and they getting on my nerves. And like I said, right now he's sick. He's sick, like he's really sick, like he's sick. So soon as he get to the hospital, guess who they call? Me. No, that's just your husband. That's my friend. That's your husband. You need to go out there and you need to catch COVID. You need to be right there with him, not me. You know. So I took groceries and I set it in front of his door and left. And then she like calling me. I'm like, ooh, right now I'm just overwhelmed with.
Does she not know the steps of being a wife, that she would have to step up and do the things?
I don't know what she know. All I know is I'm tired. I'm tired, and I feel like I don't want to stop being his friend, because I love them both, and their kids are my God kids, and I love them. You know, it's just that at this point in time, I'm just like, y'all need to stop it. Don't call me because he doing whatever he doing, and don't you call me because she not doing what she needs to be doing, because y'all need to learn how to talk to each other. Go to counseling, do something.
They
But
can call Allison.
they need to call Allison.
You just set a boundary. Like everything you just said was a boundary. So if you set that precedent and that boundary, you're gonna have to stick to it, and it's gonna cause friction for a while, because his natural reaction, even like my mom has been dead since 2007, but still when I go into a panic mode, my first name to call out is mom, and that's been because that was ingrained in me. So if you've been around for past wife, future wife, girlfriend, baby mama, but all that stuff, it's ingrained to this first line of who am I going to talk to is my road dog. So you're going to have to retrain both of y'all to undo some of that and set a new boundary, which is going to be weird at first and it's going to feel cold. But once it settles and you realize that you're able to respect one another's space, and it gives the room for the marriage to grow, and you as the friendship to remain consistent, it puts all of you at ease, because now there's no what's the word, appearance of evil. Even though you're not doing anything bad, if the appearance pops up, that causes a big problem, you know?
And when I was married, my husband didn't understand the relationship that we had. It took him a minute to get it. And then when he got it, he just like, he's really dependent on you, like you his big sister. Like his mama would call and ask me, have you seen him? Before he called his wife. Little stuff like that. And then it's nothing going on. It's nothing sexual. We never had sex. It never even went that route in our relationship. We've always been friends. Like we just been friends. I was married to his cousin, you know. After me and my first husband, I was with his cousin. And, you know, it's just back and forth. And he passed away in October of last year. So it's like he just, you know, I guess I'm his big sister, his best friend, and he look up to me. You know, he respect me. I don't have a problem with him trying to do nothing after way to me or his wife. They're loving people. I love them to death. I'm just tired of. I don't want to be the big sister no more. So I just want to be the friend that you see every now and then.
So let's get Kenya, and then we're gonna close that out with Allison, and then we'll move on to the next topic. What you got,
Miss
Kenya?
T, you keep going back. You keep going back saying, well, maybe maybe I'm just this. Well, maybe I'm just this. You're setting that up in your head. We are giving you the steps to say, this is the boundary. You have to set it in your mind, in your head. So what that they may feel that you're the big sister and you're the best friend. So what? Set it in your mind. This has got to stop. That's if you want it. That's if you want it. You have to want it. And if you want something, what do? You go get it.
Mhm.
So if you want that, set it in your mind and stop saying, well, I guess because this is happening. This is happening. Well, I guess because this is happening. This is happening. Stop that today. If that's what you want. That's all I got.
Amen. Amen.
Get out the hospital.
What you say, Key? That's all I gotta say.
That's all I gotta say about that.
All right, and let's close this topic out with Allison.
So I'll answer it two ways. I'll answer it specifically since you said that this was a question you had. And, you know, I'll agree with Kenya. I think it's a matter of, I think you already know that this isn't the way that you want things to progress. But I also think that there's part of you that's still struggling because it is a role that you've had for so long. So it's like, okay, I want it to be different, but there's part of me that's still scared of what different will look like. And so give yourself grace. Make sure that you're still firm about what you think is best. And if what you think is best is that I'm no longer the go-between or the mediator, be firm with that. And it's going to feel weird. It's going to feel weird for a long time, but it's because it's becoming a new norm. But as long as y'all have been friends, even though you don't remember it because you guys have been friends for so long, there was a time where spending time with him was a new norm. So it's just a matter of adapting. You now have to give yourself time to adapt to not being as closely involved in his life as you have been for so many years. Mm-hmm. Even though you know it's the right thing, it's still what you're used to. So you have to give yourself time to get used to that being new. You also want to give them time to accept that that is your decision, whether that mean not answering text messages, whether that mean saying the word no without an explanation, whether it mean saying, hey, you guys are married and I'm stepping back and these are the things that I'm going to do, but these are the things that I'm not going to do, and following through, whatever that looks like. Just make sure you give yourself grace and don't feel like don't beat yourself up if you find yourself dipping back into that role again because you've been in it for a minute, but also don't get comfortable there because it's not going to change. Mm-hmm. So that's how I would handle it for you. In terms of the question, it's going to depend on the dynamic. So what I mean by that is, for anybody who knows me, I'm part of the Bad Squad, but you also know that the host of the show, Tate, we couldn't be any closer. Tate's like a brother to me. Cortez has seen it, couldn't be any closer. And because of the way that I tend to carry myself, I find that I am close with men who are in relationships with women who don't tend to like the fact that they have an opposite sex friend. But it's because of certain things that I do. So for instance, with Tate, his marriage is solid. And I think that's where people have to understand, you saying that things have to change because your opposite sex best friend is married, that's not an indication that there's an issue in the relationship. It's more about respecting the relationship. Mm-hmm. It's a matter of respect, not trying to prove that, well, if they're solid, it shouldn't matter. Yes, the hell it should matter because you're not the wife or the husband. Mm-hmm. So let's get that out of the way. But with their relationship, because they have already built a foundation of trust and friendship and laughter and all of these other things, she's very secure. That doesn't mean that I take advantage of it though. And that's where I feel like sometimes people make a mistake. She doesn't care that I go to different events with him. A lot of times if she doesn't want to go, I go with them. She doesn't care about that. She doesn't feel the least bit intimidated, but I also make sure that I speak to her. I also make sure that I talk to her. I also make sure that even if Tate and I may be closer, she doesn't feel like a third wheel because that would have me out of order. Mm-hmm. And then likewise, if we happen to take pictures together, and this happened back in November, I think, we took a photo together. We were just at a play doing a radio show thing, and someone put in my comments, "Y'all look good together." I shut that shit down.
Really?
That's not gonna happen. But see, wives know that I'll do that, so they don't care that I'm around.
Right.
Yep.
So it's about how you carry yourself. I never carry myself like, well, I'm going to pretend that Tate is mine for tonight. I don't do that. I also have a guy friend whose best friend is a woman, and she's married. I've never heard him talk about being with her without being with him. Another sign of respect. So I think if we just focus on the dynamic, it can't just be, well, Tate's been my friend, and so he should be okay doing this and that with me. There's certain things I ask Tate to do, and there's certain things I don't, because it's not his role as my friend. I need to find someone else to do that. And so I think if we just focus on what is the dynamic that we have, what am I picking up that the new spouse is comfortable with versus not, and leave it at that. You don't get to qualify whether you should pay attention to the new spouse's concerns. That's not your role. If that person is the most insecure person in America, if your best friend married them, you need to respect that shit. Period. Like, it's not hard. We make it difficult because we want to still be number one.
Yep.
And your ass ain't number one if you sat there and watched your best friend say, I do. And if it's really your best friend, why do you still want to be number one? Is their happiness more important, or your role?
Right.
And that's a done deal.
Really?
Period.
Period.
Everybody.
Punctuation. All
She
right.
said a word. She said a word.
A whole sermon.
Listen,
All right.
put your cash app in the comments so we can
Girl,
I
Listen.
can get my tithes.
Church offering. The church offering.
it's your point. I receive it.
All right. So we're going to another topic. So, and make sure y'all listen, okay? This is just a long one. It's a whole play. What do you do if your partner loves thick, chunky, big girl or guy, but you are wanting to be trim and fit for your own personal reasons? Not saying that people of a certain weight category aren't fit, but your partner's idea of what's sexy and your idea of sexy are different in the size category.
Oh, Jesus.
Was it at the beginning that he or she let you know, or was it like in the mid of the relationship and it just came upon while you guys were together? Like at the beginning of the relationship, did you say, oh, I want you to be trim, I want you to be small? Or was it when you were already together for a while and then he said that?
See, and that could, I mean, there are questions.
So I can know how to direct it. Like how to
saying the person is happy with their size, but the person who's overweight wants to be in shape now, right?
Right.
Okay.
Right. I feel like communication is always key. And again, you have to sit down and have those conversations. Hey, babe, Daddy, I'm not happy with where I am right now, and I want to make some healthy changes.
That's it.
And if there's some pushback, look, I'm doing this for me. Let's figure out how we can do this thing and meet in the middle. But I no longer want to be the thick, sexy version of myself. I want to be a slimmer, sexy conversation. And if he can't understand, he or she can't understand it, then he's not wrong for having a preference of what he likes, but you want to make a change, and either he gonna rock with it or she gonna rock with it, or
I always say I think he'll like you better. Like now I'm kind of thick, but I think if I slim down at least 50 more pounds, even though he don't want me to lose weight, he want me to stay like this because he like fluffy women.
Mm-hmm.
Do you have it in the back of your mind when you do slim down and you get to toning up that they looking at all the
plus size women when you didn't slim down and you thinking in your head that you look nice and you did this for your health reasons, but you still with this guy. So do you just cut it off because you need to make yourself happy first, or do you try to compromise? Because you can be thin but thick, you know what I'm saying? I
You
just seen
can.
thin chicks with thick thighs and big hips and breasts
God
and
bless
you know,
them.
thick. So slim thick.
Right. Because if I ain't got the stomach, my hips will tick tock when they dance. I'm just saying.
See,
I'm just saying.
It's,
As Aaron
Yeah.
was saying, it's about communication. But there's a situation that you were then in the beginning, and then in the relationship, as it does happen in relationships, you start to gain the comfortable weight, like that. And then you see, and they're enjoying that comfortable weight because it's squishy and it's lovable and it's warm in the wintertime, and it's a lot to love.
hallelujah.
And they like lifting and slapping and the
Do
jiggle
something.
and all of that kind of stuff. Um, and you actually start to see yourself as, wait a minute, I think I need to do something. Okay, let me start. Then they say, well, I really like, well, you said that in the beginning that you like, but for my personal comfortable size, I need to be this. And so you're going back and forth. Well, don't lose this much. Don't do that, and don't lose that part, and don't lose that part. So then it becomes a struggle between you and that person as to, hey, I need to be healthy. And if healthy means I need to lose 50 pounds, I need to lose 50 pounds, but you want me to keep 30 of those. So then what do you do? Allison, help us out.
It's interesting. From somebody whose weight goes up and down, I'm currently on an uptick of my weight. At my smallest, I was 239. At my biggest, I think I was 336. Up in the 300 somewhere. I just wear it well because I'm awesome. But it's hard because it depends. Because part of being attracted, there is some type of physical attraction, but then there's also that soul tie and that love. And so certain people at any size, you may not even be attracted to that, but something about them, it like draws you in, I don't understand because people I'm like, I don't even find you attractive. Why the hell am I spending time with you? But something about you draws me in, and I don't know what it is. You are not the cute or the sexy or the hot that I think in my head, but something about you, inside, soul, spirit, intellect, something still has me attracted. So if that begins to change, as people grow and change, are we growing and changing our perception of what is the love of our life, if that makes any kind of sense? And so it's like there's a physical attraction in there, but do we break off the relationship because the physical attraction has now changed or lessened? Or do we learn to love a new way? Or, is it a deal breaker? I think that's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Akila said, tough. My body, I have to do what makes me feel good. Compromise.
Yeah.
That's what she
why
said.
not?
Right. I mean, me personally, let me tell you something. You gotta love me for my personality and what I can do for you. That's how I am. If I'm skinny now, I'm a whole two-pick. Okay. This is my twin. Okay. So
What?
if I all of a sudden blow up, not all of a sudden blow up, I do want to gain weight. So that's gonna be something that shut up, Miss T. To me, that is something that I've been trying to do for a long time. Is to gain weight.
Bastard.
And I can't. It's hard for me to gain weight. Only thing I do is gain stomach. I don't gain.
I hate you so much.
I just gain stomach. So somewhere down the line, if I decide to go and get that fit muscle body, to me, it shouldn't be a deal breaker because, again, I want to be happy with my appearance versus Because see, I don't have any health issues when it comes to my weight. Like, you know, some people do it for health issues. Me, I do it to be happy with my personal appearance. So, I mean, a lot of things play in losing weight or gaining weight. So that's just my little bit. I look at it as, to me, a personal appearance. What you got, Allison? And then we'll go to the next one. Chris, you had something on this one?
No, I'm good.
Okay. What you got, Allison?
So my first question, because I like to read between the lines sometimes, but my first question is, why does the person have a type? So what I mean by that is, there are some people, and I say people because we'll automatically think what I'm about to say applies to men, but it applies to women too. I've seen it. We have some people who prefer bigger women or bigger men because in their minds, they've been conditioned to think that those people are low in self-esteem, low in self-confidence. So they have to do less work to keep them. So if you're dating a person like that who now has an issue with you wanting to lose weight, it's not because you're their type, it's because you're now, the idea of you being 50 pounds or 60 pounds or 80 pounds lighter makes them feel like you'll go out and find someone better. So you wanting to do better for you is triggering their insecurity, but they're not going to tell you that. They're going to say, well, no, you know, I like big, beautiful women. You know, I like big men. So you want to make sure that you really understand that person's history. Do they have a history of only dating one type? Because I'll be the first to tell you, and I've said it on the air several times, I am team big boy. Team big boy. 6'2", 280 pounds. I love it because I'm 5 feet. I love climbing. I love all that.
You are my hero. Oh my God.
Yes, ma'am.
Now, having said that though, if I meet the one from me and he turns out to be team big boy, and then he comes to me and says, hey, I'm having issues with my joints. I'm having issues with my blood sugar. I'm having issues with all these other things. Now I got a choice to make. Do I want to enjoy Team Big Boy for 5 years before he gets too sick that we can't do anything together? Or am I going to embrace the man who is proven to be the one to love me the way that I want to be loved and see him through to what is best for him so that we can have a quality relationship, not just one where you look the way I want you to look in a wheelchair, on a bedpan, whatever. That's not going to do me any good. So the way that I answer it is, yes, you absolutely need to do what is best for you. I was a toothpick. I can relate to Cortez. Before I had my son, toothpick, size 4 on a good day. The minute that I had my son, it was like my body said, oh yeah, she's a girl, let's finish. So all these curves and breasts and butt came out. I didn't know what to do with all of it, but brother was like, don't you do nothing. You good, good. And so fast forward, I'm heavier than I want to be. I'm heavier than I want to be, especially for my size. I am working to lose weight. I think I've already lost 16 or 17 pounds since last year. But there are people, thank you, but there are brothers who are like, you don't need to lose nothing else. Okay, well, you can say that, but I'm not interested in being pre-diabetic. I'm not interested in doing any of those things. Now, I'm also not interested in being a toothpick again either. I don't want to be a size 2 or 4. I'm happy with, you know, that I have to buy the big girl bras now, and I have to, you know, jump to get into my jeans. I have no problem with that, but I'm not going to do it at the weight that I am. You're gonna have to love me 20 pounds less, or not love me at all, because I still want to enjoy a quality of life. And so I think that there's, like Akila said in the comments, there's got to be a balance. But for me, I would automatically start asking questions. Is it really that you like this size, or have you really started to think that only big girls like you? Do you have an issue because your first crush in the 9th grade was a size 4 and she rejected you, so you decided that now you're only going to date women who are size 16? You know, you got to find out the psychology behind why they're doing it before you immediately say yes or no, because it could be an opportunity to have a talking moment. It could be an opportunity to communicate. It could be an opportunity for him or her, or him and him, or her and her, to finally sit down and pull another root out of an issue or a trauma that the significant other doesn't even know about. But in all things, especially with health, do what works for you. Do what works for your frame. Do what works to keep you happy, because if that person decides to leave you because you're 25, 35 pounds lighter, guess what? Another one's gonna come along. Well, now you got more energy to enjoy hopping on the new one.
That part.
Hopping on everything.
Bounce, 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 bounce.
Oh. Y'all nasty.
Very.
I'm glad I'm a virgin. So all right, and we're going into our final topic, and this was sent in, and I hope he's watching, because me and him had a good old heated debate at work about this one. So so his question was, no, why did I do that? In a marriage or relationship, how do each person handle social media, such as liking pics, commenting on pictures or posts of the opposite sex, and vice versa, and accepting certain requests and being in certain groups? So, me personally, I would say if I was married or in a relationship, you can still like posts, you can still like the pictures, but it depends on if you liking somebody's picture and they half naked, you better like it because they showing they weight loss progress. Now, if you liking that picture because they got a nice body, as far as, ooh, they look good in that, we got a problem, because now, to me, you're lusting over somebody else in that way. And that's just me. Maybe I'm just being too hard, but I'm just saying. But yeah, I don't take the social media thing too serious. I don't. It's just, you know, it is what it is. It's all about. Hold on, what you laughing at, girl?
I'm laughing.
What happened?
Keep going.
I don't know.
Okay.
So I'm not one sided. Okay, never mind.
So what?
Keep going.
So happened on my screen?
It happened on the screen.
What?
Who was it?
I'm looking.
I mean, I'm looking too. I'm looking at all the screens.
I'm not.
What happened?
What am I looking for?
Okay. Okay. But yeah, I mean, people do take social media way too serious. That's my opinion. Social media has been taken way too serious. Social media will only become a problem if you engage in things that you know you're not supposed to engage in. And that's my only issue with it. Like, if you're married, why are you in these singles groups on Facebook? If you're in a relationship, why are you in these single groups on Facebook? Like, to me, that's like, you know, come out of it. Now, I can see if you was already in there and you forgot to come out of it after we got in a relationship. But if you got in that group during our time together, then we have a problem. But that's all I got to say. Go ahead. The floor is open.
I will. Okay. It has to be conversations, and I love this word because it's revolutionized the way I've lived my life for the past few years, about boundaries and boundaries within my relationship, boundaries to respect one another. Too many times I see from somebody who is happily single, I see people go through this whole lovey-dovey phase and rush off and get engaged and get married. But from what I understand, the whole process of engagement, which is why it takes time, is not just to plan a nice ceremony. It's to figure out and learn, how do we become one? So that process of courting and dating, where you decide we're just for each other, and engagement where now we're deciding how we're going to become one, Those are things that have to be discussed, brought up, and set a precedent and a boundary before you ever make it down that aisle. And that's why there are some problems that creep up, because things that were supposed to be respected before either weren't discussed or weren't honored. So if this whole time during engagement we talked about me on social media and you've seen that I like stuff, whatever, and you've never had a problem with it, why are you making it a problem now when that should have been discussed with me and we could have had it out, and that could have been a red flag, it could have been a deal breaker, but it could have been something that the counseling or premarital discussions and all those things come in and get to know one another. Of course, the game changes once you're married, but the game shouldn't be a brand new game. It should be the next level of what you've already established, like how to fight, how to see, okay, if I'm gonna like everybody on this page or whatever, you can see my DMs. That's fine with me. Clearly, I'm doing nothing wrong. You can see whatever DMs, you can see the trash DMs, but I'm still gonna like whatever I want. Is that a problem for you? If that's fine and you want that, that's not a problem at all. Have at it. You know, it's just when those things aren't discussed and made very clear, this is okay, this is not okay, this is the plan, or you deviated from it, then again, it becomes confusion, and what you didn't want in has now come into your dwelling and your relationship.
Before we go to the next person, Simonia Montgomery said, be respectful, which is correct. Then Akila said, I hope my mate never takes social media serious. It's all entertainment. And then she also agreed with everything you said, Dana.
What he said.
All right. We have Kenya, Chris, Miss T.
I just want to say, don't do nothing to me that you don't want me to do to you, because I'm very vindictive. So if we're in a relationship, we're dating or whatever, if you see somebody liking my post or they comment on my post and I'm not returning a comment, then that lets you know that, I'm not interested. Okay, if you liking, like you said, you liking half naked women, just don't even let me see that post. Fix it where I cannot see it, because then I'm gonna turn around and I'm just gonna be vindictive and I'm gonna like somebody naked too. So we just might need to we might not even need to be social media friends. We might not even need to be as one, because God not through with me yet, and I still got a little ignorant in me. So me and you might not want to be Facebook friends, me social media friends, and then that way we won't have those problems.
Okay.
I think for me, no, we shouldn't take social media serious. But for me, I think I would have an issue if you liking all these people's stuff and you whatever, all these females, and I'm your wife and girlfriend, whatever, and you not liking mine, that'll make me feel some type of way.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's human to say that. It would make me feel a way. Yeah, I'm gonna leave it at that.
Akita said, why should they hide it?
No, they shouldn't hide anything. But I'm just saying, if you know how I'm going to react to something, if I see you liking nudes of this woman and I'm seeing you doing this, I'm going to act a certain way. So either you don't need to be doing it, or if you're going to do it, just remove me from the post.
It's just like cheating. It's just like cheating. You ain't gonna sit and tell somebody you're cheating. You're gonna hide your cheat until you get caught.
That's what he better do.
Shut up, good. All right, we got Chris and Kenya. What y'all got?
I don't have an issue with social media with my mate. I don't see her liking stuff and all that kind of stuff. So not in my face. I don't know what she's looking at, but I don't see her liking anything. So, but it's just entertainment purposes. I would hope that she's not liking other people naked pictures and stuff like that. I'm with Miss T. Better not let me find out.
Now, I will say, the only way I would take social media serious is if you throw subliminal shots.
Oh.
And I know that it's serious.
Yeah.
And that's where I would take Facebook serious, because it's like, for one, I'm guilty of it. I used to do it so much. I used to read down of somebody on social media. But I stopped doing it because I'm like, shoot, I'm trying to get to the bag. So I'm not gonna have nobody to come in and see the things that I say, like they're doing to all these other celebrities, bringing up stuff that happened 30 years ago before they was born, and then want to say, well, you remember you said this and this and this? Yeah, I remember I said that. That was the old me. Like Miss T said, God ain't through with her yet. God ain't through with her. God's still working on me too, but it's a process to all of this. But at the same time, if I see you throwing subliminal shots, don't get mad when I come and ask you about those. And you say, oh, that's just all fun. That's just all fun. No, it's not. It's not all fun when, yeah, we're just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah. But sometimes you can see a post. It might not have anything to do with you. You just might like it. It might be funny to you. So you share it on your page. And then whoever you dating, they take that and they feel like you talking about them when really you really not even talking about them. You just liked it. It was funny to you, so you shared it. So sometimes we have to be mindful of the things we share also when you're in a relationship with somebody and they're your social media friend.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't have that issue.
Me neither. I'm single.
I'm single too.
I'm not
I'm
single.
mingling though.
I'm not single. Yes, I have a partner, but they're not on Facebook or the social medias that I'm on. YouTube is another story.
Look at
And
God.
if I see something on YouTube, if they post a video and then somebody come under the comment and say something, I know how to read in between that what they're saying because I'm a woman. And so I would just follow up and say, good job, baby. Love you.
Let yourself be
I know
known.
how to do that. And I leave it at that, and hey, I'm out of it now. They can say whatever they want. I said my piece that that I'm here and I see you. And I've always been that way in every relationship. I see you. I'm here. I'm going to let you walk as long as you want to. But once you step over the line, and if you're allowed to step over the line, then we got a problem. I'm going to them first, and then I'll deal with you. That's all. But I don't have that issue with social media. Yay.
I think when I do get a man, I'll probably tell him, look, I'm in a certain industry. I say stuff, but it's all in fun. I'm going home to you. But I agree, because I'm one of those ones that I'm mindful of what I put on Facebook too, especially if I know the things that I say can hit certain different directions. Sometimes it's so many times where I have a post set up ready to hit share, and I'm like, nah, let me take that back, because this person gonna feel some type of way. This person gonna think I'm taking shots. This person. So let me just not, because I don't like conflict, but I don't mind having it.
Say that twice for the people in the back.
Say that again.
I don't like conflict, but I don't mind having it.
Boom.
That's a post. We all need to go to your Facebook page, everyone, and write that down on your Facebook page. It is a post.
Post it, we all gonna share it.
All right, and we're gonna close this topic out, of course, with Allison.
So, okay, so I have found a way to be openly private. So that means I'll have fun with you and all of those other things. But when it comes to my private life, with the exception of a situation I was in last year, you'll never know about it. And so the way that I operate is this. I was seeing a gentleman a few months back, and he started asking, questions that, made me aware that he was contemplating us moving into more of an exclusive situation. And so we decided to have the full disclosure conversation. And one of the things that came up was, the biggest thing about me, Allison, is I get a lot of women's attention. And that has been a problem in the past. Now, I'm not sure what kind of answer he was looking for. I did appreciate that he was forthcoming, But what I told him is, and this is my answer. I'm answering while I'm telling this story. I don't care about the attention you get. I care about the attention that you pay attention to. I care about the attention you entertain. And so he asked, well, what do you mean by that? And so what I tell brothers up front, now, so far, nobody has really followed through on being able to handle it, but I tell them that I don't get jealous. I don't get jealous because I know who I am. I want you, but if you want to go somewhere else, I'm gonna cry about it, but you're never gonna bring me out of character. And I also tell them that one of the benefits to me not being jealous and me being someone who unequivocally walks with good intentions and the right heart and the right spirit is I don't look for anything. I don't check phones. I don't need passwords. I don't do anything, because when I know, when God says you need to know this, it is literally handed to me on a silver platter. So I don't worry. I walk my walk. I do right by you. I do what I should. And if there's something that I need to know that you feel like you're hiding, it will literally fall into my lap. So I don't worry. I also am one who has learned the value of the following statement. I thought about how many times I had to tell a brother I wanted to have sex with him. Only had to tell him once. So that tells me that he heard what the hell I said the first time. So I don't repeat myself. So I told this brother, I said, hey, I pull what you pull. So if you decide that you want to entertain, just know that my page is gonna have the same, we evenly match. I'm not gonna feel no type of way, because whatever you entertaining, I got options too. So whatever it is you don't want to see on my page, make sure I don't see it on yours.
That's it.
And, I now to show respect, because I do know that I sometimes have men who will go a little bit too far, and some of y'all may have seen it, but, if I have a brother who says, hey, I appreciate what you said, whatever, I'll send a heart. But if I get one of these peace and blessings queen, and you're the ruler of everything, and you're the stars and all that other stuff, he gets one big old thumbs up, just a like. That's out of respect for the person I'm dating, to know I'm not entertaining that. I'm going to acknowledge that he said it, but I'm not entertaining it. So in my instance, if I'm with someone and I see that they've liked on a post or something that seems a little questionable, I'm going to bring it up once.
That's it.
If they do it again, I'm blocking their asses. And the reason I block, the wrong brother will get the appearance of, okay, well, she's blocking because she's insecure. No, I'm not insecure, but the same way I can't see your stuff, you now can't see mine.
Boom.
And the one who is not got the right intentions, it's gonna bother him a hell of a lot more that he can't see my page, and it's ever gonna bother me. And I'm just gonna keep you blocked. And when they come and talk to me, I'm gonna remind them, I told you from the beginning, I'm all about you being who you wanna be. You've made it clear that you wanna be a particular person online, I'm gonna allow that. If it crosses a line that I'm not comfortable with, I'm out. But since you don't want to respect our connection online, I disconnected it. And I'm gonna move on with life.
That's good.
Lock and delete.
All right. And that, my people, you have it. So I do appreciate everyone who tuned in. Let me get to these comments, make sure I didn't miss any. Let's see here. We got it. We did it. Okay, so Akila says social media shouldn't have that much control over feelings and emotions. If it affects your relationship, just talk it out. She also said, I'm not tit for tat. Respect is respect. And then she agreed with you, Allison. She said just one time. And I agree. You only got one time. So, all right, closing out this show with our final remarks. We do thank Allison for coming on, joining us today. We do thank her for every knowledge she dropped. I hope everyone took their notes, because
Drop that Cash App.
and y'all please hit her up one more time. Allison, please give them a way to contact you.
So I will put it in the comments also, but you can find me right here on Facebook under Allison Denise. You can also find my official page. I am Allison Denise. Under Instagram and YouTube, you can also find me under I am Allison Denise. If you would like any coaching, if you would like me to come speak, whether it be a virtual workshop or anything like that, please go to AllisonDenise.com. You can also email me at IamAllisonDenise@gmail.com. And I have that piece of information underneath the bio part of my profile pic here on the Facebook app.
All right. Okay. Final words. Your final remark. One line. Go, Miss T. What you got for the people?
Be safe. And if you can't be safe, be sanitary.
Chris?
Communicating your relationship, whatever that is, friendships as well.
All right. King?
To be clear is to be kind. And you can only be kind when you are clear about what you allow and what you want.
Kenya?
Open your ears, listen, talk it out, love. Peace and blessings, everybody.
Aaron stepped away. She gone. Poor thing.
Can y'all hear me? I'm here.
There we go.
Okay. But I honestly, my last remarks is I am so thankful. You could have been anywhere in the world, but you guys are here. All of you have dropped some jewels in my spirit today, and I am so thankful and appreciative for everything you guys have said, partake of this platform that you're giving us, and again, thank you.
My remark would be, and I got to read mine, y'all, okay? Look for opportunities in every change in your life, okay? And then Allison Denise, we'll close it out with your final remark.
True love is worth the effort. Keep fighting.
And there you have it, my people. I do appreciate everyone. And I thank everyone who tuned in with us today. We had a very awesome show. Please check us out every Tuesday at 8 p.m. Central, because Chris is broadcasting live way from Atlanta. So what you an hour ahead?
I'm behind, guys.
You behind us? Oh, okay.
10:40.
You an hour ahead there.
You're ahead.
You almost there.
You're ahead, sis.
It's
Yeah,
9:40.
Yeah, it's 9:40 here.
So when I said an hour ahead, I said, I know my time zone. Good.
Looking like you were in an Erykah Badu video.
But I do thank everyone for tuning in. Please like our page, share this page. If you have anything that you wanted to talk about, just inbox us. If you want to be a guest on the show, inbox us your information, why you want to be a guest, what you have going on. We love to try new things. We are 6 episodes in. We are rocking this thing. And I enjoy doing it. My crew love doing it. We love talking to the people. We love engaging. I mean, we stuck in the house still because, I mean, coronavirus still here. So basically we still quarantined. We're virtually quarantined. So
Coronavirus.
So I do thank everyone for tuning in, and go back and rewatch the show for some good information. We had a lot of stuff dropped today. Next week we'll be back on again at 8 p.m. Central. So tune in, and y'all have a good night.
Night, everybody.
Good night.
Randa Bahaya.
Ah,